A St Kilda-based program is trying to break down the stigma surrounding sex workers and help them change their lives. It's the only service of its kind in Australia and demand for it has never been higher. But as Anna McDonald reports, the program's funding runs out next year.
It's glamorous and the money-making side of it is fantastic, but after a while it's soul-destroying. It slowly started to eat away at me, what I was doing. Even though the money side of it was so amazing, you know, for my family, but for me as a person with my own morals, my own feelings, they started to eat away at me. And I just realised that it's not for me anymore.
This is Isabella. She's a single mother who until recently worked in Melbourne's sex industry.
Wasn't able to give them lunch orders, wasn't able to keep up with my bills. I wanted to be able to offer them a good future.
So the money is what drew you in the first
It's
place?
the only thing that drew me.
She worked at an agency for 3 years before deciding she'd had enough.
The main reason that sex workers want to leave the industry is, as reported to us, is the stigma and discrimination they experience while they're in the sex industries. This has a profound impact on sex workers, on their perception of themselves, on an impact on their family, and a really strong impact on their future career options too.
Inner South Community Health runs Victoria's only exit program for sex workers. The program's used by people like Isabella who want to leave the industry but don't know how.
What's so hard about trying to get out?
The money, the financial loss. Yeah, it's the only draw card that takes you back there.
So the money's just
unbelievable.
The program's the first of its kind in Australia. Sex workers are offered a range of services, including counselling and help in applying for jobs or study.
People contact the service or are referred to the program, and then they meet with a caseworker, and they work together on what goals the sex worker wants. So what the sex worker wants to achieve from the program. The main end point is that someone leaves the program with alternative options and with a broader range of choice in their life.
In the 3 years since it began, the Pathways to Exit program has helped 180 men and women. But as word spreads about the program's success, demand continues to grow.
To effectively meet demand, we really need to double our capacity and double our resources. And as I said, we're working closely with government at the moment to try and achieve that.
We're very impressed by the program, and I have attended a number of the steering committee meetings and observed the program in practice, and I would certainly like to see the program extended for a long period, so at least a 5-year program. What we know is that this is the sort of program that works.
The program's based in St Kilda, the heart of Melbourne's street sex trade. It's an area which has for years struggled to accommodate both sex workers and residents, many of whom are fed up with the trade taking place outside their homes. The local mayor says efforts by council to appease residents haven't worked.
This council in the past has put in place some physical barriers like closing streets or putting gates up in certain streets to stop traffic, so to stop the clients from doing their loops. Now, what we know is that all that's achieved has been to push the sex work into a surrounding street or an adjacent street. So we know that that's not a solution.
Councillor Pounding says the law and order approach has failed and believes the Pathways to Exit program is a success.
If residents in St Kilda or across Melbourne are looking for a solution to this problem, this is the solution.
A recent study into the first 18 months of the program has also backed calls for the service to receive long-term funding. It found it provides clear and sustainable pathways out of sex work, with 44% of those involved now studying and 38% either stopping or significantly reducing sex work.
The results of the evaluation so far have indicated it's really made a difference to the lives of a lot of people who are interested in leaving the sex industry but find it hard to make that adjustment.
Despite that, the Minister won't commit to long-term funding.
At the moment, the program is run on a year-by-year basis according to normal budgetary decisions, so certainly would hope that by the time of next year's budget we'll have a much better idea about putting Pathways to Exit on a firmer financial footing.
Isabella has now been in the program for 6 months. She no longer works at the agency and she's now contemplating a career in social work or tourism.
I have learned that I am allowed to make mistakes and I am more forgiving to myself, and I am not as harsh in my own judgment towards myself. I think the world does that enough for us. And I see a lot of light ahead, which I didn't see at the start of this year.
Anna McDonald reporting there.